Ram Squad Show. It's your boy Mike Brockers, and it's 49ers week. Enough said.
Doug McCain here, and the Rams have had special teams issues the entire season. The field goal kicking has been bad, but everything's going to be okay because they have a thicker kicker.
And I'm Gavin Carlson, and hey, the Rams didn't say F them picks, and I'm actually okay with it.
Whose house? Rams house. It's the Rams Squad. Everything Los Angeles Rams every week. Breaking down all the big hits and game-changing plays from the City of Angels, the way only the Locked On Podcast Network can. Here comes the Rampede. The Rams Squad Show starts now.
Yes, it does. Whose house? Rams house. Who squad? The Mob Squad. The Ram Squad Show back here on the Locked On Rams YouTube channel and after the fact, both on the channel, wherever the heck you get the Locked On Rams audio podcast feed. We got the best crew in the building. On the planet, in the league, in sports in general. The Mob Squad is back. We missed D-Mac on the weekend. He was too busy. Everyone said in the comments, too hungover after your Dodgers pulled out the unthinkable, but welcome back. Hope you had a good time there in Toronto. I'm sure you did.
And all I got to say is Shohei Ohtani in 2 years with the Dodgers already has more World Series rings than the Angels have in their 63-year existence.
That's crazy.
Anyways,
That's wild,
I'm
right?
also here with Big Brock, and D-Mac didn't say anything.
Coming out swinging.
I guess so. But we are here on another midweek edition of the Squad Show. Quick reminder that this Thursday edition of the Squad Show is brought to you by PrizePicks. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Now, Brock and I held things down on Sunday, talking about a dominant win for our Saints, our Rams over the Saints, and it was a fantastic win. It really, really was. Not much needs to be said about that. What does need to be discussed is the NFL trade deadline. I know the Rams didn't make a move on deadline day. Obviously, their move was before that. Did the Rams miss out not making a move? We'll talk about that new kicker in LA. Not Dicker the kicker. It's the thicker kicker. D-Mac will tell you plenty about that. And we'll also, of course, preview the huge game against those nasty San Francisco 49ers. Shout out to everybody that's watching this. Leave your comments and all that. But enough being said, Brock, I just want to hear from you real quick since D-Mac came in here talking about some baseball nonsense. How you feeling after that dominant win for our Rams over the Saints, and how you feeling going into 49ers week?
I'm glad that we handled the Saints like we were supposed to. As one of the top teams in the league right now, we're supposed to handle opponent like that, especially with a record like that. Now going into a division rival that we already lost to, with most of their players out, I'm a little nervous going into this game. It's never just, an easy pick, when you go against somebody that knows you and, has won against you going on the second time in the season. So, man, I don't know. I'm a little bit nervous, so I don't want to give away my pick, towards the end of the show. But yeah, I'm a little nervous going into this one, with it being a division rival for sure.
Look at Big Brock. He's only been in the media for a couple of years, right? This is an NFL player first, and yet he already knows the number one thing, which is keep them on the edge of their seat. Wait till the end to hear our predictions. But I don't know about you guys. I want to start with the deadline. I know D-Mac and Travis were saying on the Daily Show how the NFL, it's not quite the NBA, right? It's not quite the MLB. You don't get the blockbuster deals. You don't get Luka, to the Lakers, or you don't get all the trades in baseball. But we kind of got that a little bit. I mean, a couple of huge trades. I mean, the Jets mainly contributing to the hype of the deadline, giving up both Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams. A couple other ones, Rashid Shaheed, a guy that was rumored to go to the Rams. He goes for way more than I thought he should have, a fourth and a fifth to the Seahawks. Jacoby Myers, a couple here and there. D-Mac, what was your biggest kind of overall takeaway from the deadline? Was it the Sauce move because that was shocking, or was it a grander takeaway from what we saw on the deadline?
Well, I think for sure the Sauce move was absolutely shocking. The return they got for him, the Rams being linked to cornerbacks kind of to start this season, and the fact that has been an area of weakness. I mean, if you kind of look at some of the advanced stuff, it tells you it's not as bad as you might think it is. You're getting Darius Williams back from the shoulder, and you're going to get Akel Witherspoon back at some point. Emmanuel Forbes had his best game against the Saints. So, I mean, I do think that if there was a corner out there that could have been had that was on a higher tier than Roger McCreary, maybe they go for him. But I'm not surprised at all because Sean McVay, he said the day before that they weren't expecting to make a big move. And here's the thing. I mean, a lot of times with this stuff, it's like a lot of people just assume that one team, because they didn't make a move, didn't attempt to make a big move. I mean, you don't know how close they got to trading for an impact guy. You don't know how close they got to, who knows, maybe there were calls for Rashid Shaheed and things like that. But at the end of the day, I mean, even if they came up short because the asking price was too high, I think it really says a couple things. I think it says, one, they're confident in this group, the depth of this group. They feel good about the weapons they do have. They feel good about the seasons from Puka Nacua and Matthew Stafford, the defense really being a top 5 defense in this league. And also the fact that, hey, they're thinking about the future as well. I mean, you have 2 first-round picks that you can use in the 2026 NFL draft. They're one of 4 teams that have 2 first-round picks, and you don't find quarterbacks in free agency. You rarely can trade for big-name quarterbacks, and I still want to see Matthew Stafford next year playing like this and beyond possibly. But the truth of the matter is, if you're thinking long-term about this organization and sustained winning, that the likelihood of them finding the successor of Matthew Stafford in the draft by trading up, they did it with Goff. Something tells me they're going to do it again at some point. So I think that kind of was the main reason why they didn't go out there, and as well as feeling good about the group they do have for going out there not making a big move.
Yeah, I mean, going off that, I thought, both of you, and Travis made a great point on one of the daily shows where he's like, because of how good Matthew Stafford is playing right now, as much as we want to go all in and maximize that, at the same time, it is not a 1-year plan. Maybe it actually is a 2-year plan or a 3-year plan. You see how long he can play this well. So yeah, maybe you're a little more hesitant to go all in, like you're saying, and then maybe the future plan is to go acquire that quarterback in line, sort of the Jordan Love to our situation, the way it was for the Packers, something like that. Big Brock, I'm curious about your thoughts on the Quinnen Williams deal, because that Dallas Cowboys defense is atrocious. And I know you're biased. I know you see a guy like Quinnen Williams and you see a superstar D tackle similar to yourself, similar to an Aaron Donald, and you go, hey man, that's a nice piece, an attractive piece, a valuable piece. Dallas Cowboys, they're not doing nothing in the NFC. You think that is enough to turn around that defense, just getting one guy in the D-line? I know you're the most biased guy when it comes to a question like this, because you're going to sit there and go, come on, I could turn around a defense myself. Quinnen Williams could do it too. But do you think there's any way that one D tackle is enough to turn around a horrible defense in the NFC?
Not really, not that defense. Only because I feel like they should have focused more on the back end, really at the linebacker position. I don't think they have good players at the linebacker position right now to get the job done. So, and teams know how to scheme ways to get around your D tackle pressure and things like that. Obviously, when you got, I played with Aaron Donald, so it was kind of extremely hard to get away from him. But, a player of Quinnen Williams, stature and ability, I could just see teams just running away from him, running away from his side, maybe running, wide, some wide zone plays and things away from him, getting him tired and then just really continuing to do what they want to do. I think, like I said, the linebacker position and obviously in the secondary, I feel like they need help there, but I don't really see a true benefit, especially when you already made a trade for Kenny Clark as well, who I feel like is all pro as well. So yeah, your defensive tackle position is solidified, but everywhere else there are holes. So I don't see him really making an impact on that defense and changing it around anytime soon.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you see a team in your conference acquire a superstar and you go, oh no, does that affect my team at all? I don't think the Cowboys could have acquired 4 people. It already feels like they're out of the playoff race. So they're certainly not sniffing the Rams record. They're not sniffing the Rams in terms of the standings and potentially seeing them in the playoffs. No, I just curious on your thoughts on it, but I don't think it affects the Rams at all. We already brought up the Rashid Shaheed one a little bit, and I want to touch that just real quickly, just because, one, he does go to a team in the conference who, like us, is playing amazing football right now, that a team we do see, in a couple weeks in our division, of course. And at the same time, a guy that we were very much linked to D-Mac, I feel like a fourth and a fifth is a lot for Rashid Shaheed. He's a talented guy. He's got elite speed in this league. But you look at his career stats. He's played 42 games. He's got 138 catches on 216 targets. He's got 2,000 yards for his career in 4 seasons. He had 719 yards in 2023. But outside of that, he's never had more than 500 yards in a season, right? Like, he's not going to be a touchdown threat. He's a undersized receiver. Fourth and a fifth seems like a lot for the Seahawks to give up, no?
It's definitely, I mean, it's a tall asking price, right? I mean, it's a trade deadline. It's today's price is yesterday's price, right? You're not getting the Halloween candy the day after, right? It's like you're buying the Jordans on StockX. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're buying ones and they're like double, triple the price. The Travis Scotts, the ones that are in Michael Brocker's closet, right? Like, I got the Shaq brand shoes in mine. Okay, so that's what you're kind of dealing with at the trade deadline. But I have seen that is like, okay, the production from Rashid Shaheed doesn't warrant the capital that they got to acquire him. But I do think this is less about, okay, they think that Rashid Shaheed is going to be the big answer there and catch 5, 7, 8, 9, 10 touchdowns. I think it's more of what it's going to do for Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet. I think that those are going to be the main beneficiaries of this trade, because no way opposing defenses are going to be comfortable stacking the box with a deep threat like Shaheed and with an elite all-pro level receiver in Jackson Smith and Jigba. So I think, look, for a team that, I mean, Darnold, how many years do you have with Darnold, realistically, right? And I think that we're seeing around the league, like teams like the Colts, teams like the Seahawks, teams that you didn't think were going to be these massive contenders heading into the season, they're looking around the league saying, all right, Chiefs, maybe. All right, Eagles, probably. The Rams are pretty good. But, like, I don't think there's anyone that they say they're so good that it's not worth taking a big swing to maybe just go all in and try to improve your chances on the margins and kind of just making things better as far as your team goes. So I kind of like this move. I really do. I mean, I remember I was talking to some people with the Saints that cover the Saints, and they told me that he was going to go for a 4th-round pick, and that's what they expected. So to kind of see some extra in there, I think that came as a little bit of surprise, but he's someone that you also factor this in. Look at the organization he was playing in, right? I mean, for a bad team, the Saints aren't terrible, but they're like a good bad team in a lot of ways. But I think that you put them in the Seahawks with those weapons. I think it's going to be an interesting piece.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I just thought I guess more so, I'm happy that the Rams did not give up a 4th and a 5th is what I would say.
But here's the thing, though. Like, I feel like these people get so caught up in these picks. I mean, you're talking about Quinnen Williams, right? He's better than any first-round D tackle that they're going to get next year, potentially. You look at the Cowboys, you have to find a way to do anything you can with the contracts with CeeDee and Dak, right? And he's uncontrollable until 2027. So I'll give you a perfect example. Look at our own Rams, right? You use Pooh Paul with that 5th-round pick, even make the team, right? Like, teams aren't valuing these picks as much as I think that you're kind of seeing when you see these trade packages. Teams want to win. They kind of said, okay, as long as we get our guy, like we'll like that's the most important thing for us. But as far as how it impacts the Rams, not having a Shaheed would have been interesting. But I also think too, what we've seen with this 13 personnel. I mean, I rewatched the game. I mean, they're in that thing like 35% of the time, like 45% of the time. All 4 tight ends made a catch, and you're still feeling pretty good about these weapons. So I think also too is a tough stretch for sure. And Tutu Atwell is where he's at physically right now. But I still think this team has the weapons to get it done throughout this stretch. I don't think we're going to be doing shows in February and March thinking, man, we just had got Rashid Shaheed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that's what we're going to be doing.
Exactly. I think this team goes a lot more. It's a lot more about how good is Terrence Ferguson? How good is the run game? How good is the offensive line playing? Then how good is a specialty piece? And yeah, if it's a 5th or 6th, I agree. I just feel like once you're getting into multiple picks, like for a guy who you don't even have control of past this season, it feels like an MLB type of move where you're giving up the future for like 4 months. And I don't think the Seahawks are good enough to go all in for the next 4 months, in my humble opinion. But hey, if it's going to be a problem. You're going to have to play Rashid Shaheed and JSN. Hey, Brock, you see how I tried to bait him into taking a shot at Cooper Kupp there, though. Talked about a Seahawks receiver.
Hey, you just knew it was coming. Don't worry. The show's not over with yet.
From Rams fans. I got some DMs from Rams fans who are giving me ish for that. And so I'm going to, and I love Cooper Kupp. Like he honestly is a guy I love Cooper. There will be I'm going to be crying during the jersey retirement ceremony. Like I love me some Cooper Kupp, but I like it more on the Seahawks than the Rams. You know what I mean? Like I prefer he wasn't on a division rival, but honestly, if you look at the year he's having, it's not terrible. It really isn't. He actually having a better year in a lot of different ways. So I'm happy for Cooper Kupp. He honestly should never have to pay for a drink in this town ever again. Once a Ram, always a Ram. You know what I mean?
Good save. Good save by him, Brock, right? Because he could have easily come in there with, they have to go acquire a receiver because they have Cooper washed Kupp, but he didn't do it. He didn't fall for the bait this time. There you go.
I'm trying to get them nasty DMs.
Like Brock said, there's still a lot of time left in the show, though. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But we're going to take a break. It was fun to talk about the trade deadline a little bit. I feel like, didn't really affect the Rams, but kind of, despite us not making a move. When we come back, we'll talk about the new kicker in Los Angeles, our thoughts on that, because certainly there aren't many flaws with this team. Special teams is one of them. And then, of course, we're going to spend a lot longer on this show than typical talking about the upcoming game, because is there anything else you want to do but talk about the 49ers and how much we're going to beat them? That's what I want to talk about. So we'll do that after our break here when we come back on the Locked On Rams Squad Show. Now, today's show is brought to you by Mizzen and Main. I don't know about you, but I just like saying that. Mizzen and Main. You know the saying, look good, feel good? The problem is that most dress clothes only check one of those boxes. Yeah, sure, they might look sharp, but they feel stiff, hot, and high maintenance. That's why there's Mizzen and Main. Mizzen and Main makes classic menswear with performance fabric, so it's effortless to look sharp and feel comfortable. They actually invented the performance fabric dress shirt over 10 years ago, and they've perfected it ever since. Just like Matthew Stafford. Yeah, he was good 10 years ago, but he's still perfecting things with each and every day. I've worn Mizzen and Main, and I don't know about you guys, but I like those dress shirts that they feel a little tight, but then they're flexible. That's what Mizzen Main is, right? Their shirts are stretchy, they're moisture wicking, they're wrinkle resistant, and machine washable. No ironing, no dry cleaning. It's too expensive to go get your shirts dry cleaned once a week, man. Just give me something I can throw on the wash. I can take it out. There's not wrinkles. I can wear it a couple times. I love that you can go from the office to dinner or even out in the golf course and still feel comfortable all day. It's got that feel of athletic wear, but it looks professional as well. So right now, Mizzen and Main is offering our listeners 20% off your first purchase at mizzenandmain.com with promo code LOCKEDONNFL20. That's Mizzen, spelled M-I-Z-Z-E-N, and Main, M-A-I-N.com. Promo code LOCKEDONNFL20 for 20% off. And if you'd rather shop in person, you can find Mizzen and Main stores in select states. Ram Squad Show is back with Rams legend Michael Brockers and LA sports media legend, especially, when his Dodgers do their thing, and known Cooper Kupp hater and lover at the same time, D-Mac. I'm Gavin Carlson, and we are about to talk about the Rams acquiring a kicker because I will say, the same way D-Mac said he got some DMs from Rams fans about Cooper Kupp, I read the comment section, and there's some people saying, Gavin, it's not all Joshua Carty. Did you see the operation? Did you see how bad the snap was? Did you see the hold? Yes, I did. I want to remind you guys that in the first couple of weeks, when it was kicks getting blocked against the Eagles, people were coming for Carty, and I was saying, guys, he's getting the kicks blocked. What do you want him to do? Well, now it's a little bit of both, right? Special teams coach needs to be under a microscope. The operation needs to be under a microscope. And the kicker, Joshua Carty, needs to be under a microscope. Well, the Rams made a statement going out and getting a kicker who, D-Mac, remind me what the nickname was again?
The thicker kicker.
I mean, D-Mac's not fighting those cheeks allegations. I'll leave it at that. But
oh, there we go. Yeah, no, honestly, and here's the thing. And I totally agree with, the fans out there. It's obvious. When you look at Joshua Carty and you kind of slow down some of these kicks, it looks like he's looking for the rush instead of focusing on making the kick. And you've had 8 misses and you played 8 games this season. I think it is more Blackburn than Joshua Carty per se. But I also think, too, sometimes the special teams position, we saw when McVay went off of Zerline and it took him a while to get to Matt Gay, right? They go through kickers. Like, that's just kind of the name of the game in this league. And sometimes the kicker's fault. Sometimes they need a change of scenery. Sometimes you just need change for the sake of change. I think if you threw our Curry in the blocking situation would be a lot better, right? Because a lot of times coming off the edge. So I do think that Blackburn's default, and like I'll tell you something. Like I heard this from someone from the Rams about Blackburn, and I was like, dude, like, I was texting him like, dude, how, like, no offense, but like they gotta be considering a move, right? With Chase Blackburn, they got to be considering a move, right? And one thing I heard back was that he's one of the best golfers on the team. You know what I mean? And I'm like, bro, like, I don't know, maybe Brock has some more intel on that, but that's not a reason to keep a guy, but also does maybe say like, hey, he's like a guy that people like to be around, and like you don't want to like fire that guy and that kind of stuff. So it just really stood out to me to kind of hear that. I mean, you guys make of that what you will. I'm kind of interested to get your thoughts.
If I speak, I'm in big trouble. Brock, go ahead. What are your reactions to that?
Yeah, man. I mean, because let's be honest. When it comes to special teams, like I said in the previous show, if they're making kicks, nobody's saying nothing to them. But as soon as they start missing kicks, everybody's wondering, like, why they're not at practice, or like, why are they working on a golf swing? And it's funny you say that he's one of the best golfers, because special team usually, they get their 2 little periods before practice, and they're usually off working on their swing or doing something else that, worry about their regular life. They don't have anxiety about the game, because all they got to do is kick,
Yeah.
So it's funny you say that he's one of the best golfers, because usually the special teams guys usually are always working on their golf game if they're not kicking the ball in practice.
Yeah, and this season, I mean, they're ranked 29th in DVOA for their special teams, their kicking, and they're just, I mean, you look at everything from the fact that Blackburn has been given 5 different kickers, right? And he hasn't either developed a protection group that can allow them to execute, or the kicker has struggled himself, right? So I just think of their past due time, and I'd be shocked if this persists for them not to make a move, because this is what I keep reminding myself. Tom Brady, right? Is Tom Brady your GOAT? I'm not like the biggest Tom Brady GOAT guy. You know what I mean? Like
he is. He is.
I think he's the most accomplished, right? I think he's the most accomplished. Like I definitely think that he's definitely the most accomplished for sure.
You see what's happened with Bill Belichick since he's been separated from Brady, and I think with each day that passes, and with each loss that North Carolina has, and with each foolish thing that comes out about Bill Belichick, it just helps Brady's legacy more and more every day. And you see those rings covering more than one hand, by the way. I'm not a Brady fan either, but like he's got more rings than his hand. And it's, he left his coach, he left the dynasty, he left any, system quarterback allegations when he went to a franchise that never wins and immediately won. So
it's fine. Brady's the GOAT. I just think that I mean, okay, I'll digress on that one. But this is what I would say, like Brady being the GOAT, his first 4 Super Bowls, right? I mean, think about that. They were all decided by 3 points. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like this is going to factor in heavily this season. It's not just, the Eagles, you make that kick and you win that game, and you look at your record and you look at the confidence of being the defending champions on the road, right? But it's also what it means for your play calling on 4th and short potentially, and on 3rd down, and also what it means for going for 2, and just the advantage that could give the defense in those situations. So it's not just he missed or he didn't make the kick. It's how it impacts everything around it. So this is, I mean, to me, people are saying, it's just special teams. I'm like, no, this is a 5-alarm fire, man. I'm waking up at 3:30 in the morning worried about this in a sweat. You know what I mean? So like, I just need to see better results as far as this next couple of weeks, because you got these big games coming up, and these division games and these conference games. And really, I think that you look right now, I mean, the Rams have a good season. They're like the 5th seed in the NFC because of the lack of conference wins. So, I mean, a lot's going to be determined, and this hopefully will not be the reason why the Rams aren't going to have the season we all think they potentially can have.
Yeah. I mean, Big Brock, we talked about it after Sunday, and I was like, if you're on the team, like, what's your reaction to Cardi missing kicks, to special teams falling apart? And Brock's like, hey, I'm if I don't see you after practice making up for it, right? Staying extra late to figure things out, we've got a problem. I'm sure you are a big fan of there being more competition in that room, right? And letting them duke it out to see who is going to be the kicker for the Rams going forward, I can imagine.
Absolutely. I mean, I love to see them actually, go before the fans really get pissed off about it, and try to handle the situation before it gets to that point to where, like you said, Doug, is like these games come down, especially the playoff game comes down to 7 to 3 points, or less,
Yeah.
So having a good special team that you can count on is highly important when it comes to managing games, playing for the win, things like that. So I think it's a big deal with them making a move like this that shows that they're serious about, sewing up, the special teams and getting that thing right before we head into the back end of the season and it bites us. We don't want it to bite us. Let's say that.
For sure. No, no, absolutely, man. You don't want that bite in January, right? I mean, you're right.
Right.
I mean, you want to make sure things are cleaned up by then. But let me ask you guys this question, though, because it seems to be a pretty common debate in Rams land right now. Is it a Chase Blackburn issue? Is it a Joshua Carty issue? Because you look at Carty on the season, 10 for 15 on field goals, 23 of 26 on extra points. Yes, the protection issues have been glaring. They've been an issue all year, but still, even some of the clean ones. I mean, yes, the extra point gets the Saints. The laces were in. They weren't out. And there was all these little things, but let me ask you guys, though. Like, are you at the point where you'd be willing to just change something for the sake of changing something from the kicker spot, like going to the thicker kicker, as we're calling him right now, just to say, hey, like maybe that will just change the energy, change the execution, make them feel like it's just kind of a clean situation? Because I mean, Cardi feels like it's half mental now, half execution. And then at the point with special teams guys, Brock, you saw a lot of these kickers when they were on your team before. I mean, Zerline was amazing, right? But you even seen around the league, right? Sometimes like when it's gone, and there's no turning back. I mean, would you guys just make a change for the sake of making a change possibly?
Absolutely. I like, that's what I was just saying. Like, let's make a change for the sake of making a change, because we see that it's an issue. So we need to shake things up. If it's Cardi having to be locked in because now he has competition, or is it the fact that you bring somebody in, different as far as timing when it comes to the kicks and things of that nature. So definitely, I think they're doing the right thing by at least attempting to get another kicker, shaking things up in that locker room, possibly, if not, pushing Cardi to either be better, or we have to find, go in a different direction.
Yeah, I mean, I'm totally with you. By the way, like, he's 5'11", 242. I mean, is that thick? I don't know. Is that thick with a couple C's? Is it?
5'11", 240 something? Yeah, brother. Yeah.
That's what he's at, man.
You need a fullback dive on 4th and 1. If you need a tush-push specialist, maybe you have the guy, because my goodness, yeah.
Hey, you guys remember Janikowski? He was pretty thick.
Yeah. But he was tall too, though, right? He was kind of just a huge guy in general, I feel like. So, yeah, no, that's going to be funny to watch. I mean, one thing I will say, D-Mac, about the change for the sake of making a change, I mean, what's the worst thing that can happen, right? Like, it's not like other positions where, oh no, but what about the chemistry? Oh no, what about the this or the that? Like, if we make a change at kicker and he's missing because he's looking at the pass rush and he's getting kicks blocked, then we say, okay, it's clearly not the kicker, it's everything else around. If he starts making kicks because magically there isn't a rush and there aren't things getting blocked, I don't really care, right? Like, sure, I might feel a little bit bad for Joshua Carty that I'm like, man, it wasn't him. It was actually the situation. And now we brought in a new kicker and suddenly they're blocking for him or something. But guess what? I don't really care. If the kicks are going through, then we'll take it. We'll take it whether it's unfair to Carty or not. It's not like quarterback, right? Where you're debating like, oh, is Brock Purdy a system quarterback? Or, oh, I feel bad for Mac Jones or what? No, it's like, if a guy gets it done, it's kicker. Like, we'll take it. We'll take it whether it was his fault or it wasn't his fault. If the kicks are going through, they're going through, and we'll keep moving along, right? Like, do you think, D-Mac, I'm curious, do you think that the draft capital or the commitment to Carty kind of plays a role in this and them taking this long?
I think so, for sure. I mean, they're a team that they're quick to move off guys. I mean, even if it's guys they signed for big deals that didn't work out, or if it's a draft pick, I think that they'll move on from guys. But I also think, too, They had some success with Carty last year, and I do think that when you kind of look at it under a microscope, I mean, you missed an extra point last week. He looked like he was trying to kick it really fast before he could get blocked, right? So I do think that they're kind of giving him the benefit of the doubt a little bit. But at the end of the day, I mean, if it's the holder, the snapper, kind of giving away when the snap's going to happen, I mean, there's other teams. It almost thinks like it almost feels like they've kind of they have like a tell, when a pitcher is kind of tipping his pitches a little bit, because it's like they're on that snap, like it's crazy, like So yeah, I mean, I for me, I would. Here's something. I'll tell you something. I Googled Joshua Carty, right? And the first thing that shows up is his LinkedIn profile.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. Where he was a computer science major at Stanford. And I don't know about you guys. I don't remember seeing many NFL players have LinkedIn profiles that are active. So I don't know if this dude's a little like kind of worried about his future. Maybe he's already thinking about his job after kicking. And like, I don't know, man. That just was a little weird to me. Anything on that? I don't know.
Brock, you got a LinkedIn or what?
Yeah, I definitely have a LinkedIn. I think
but not when you were like playing, right?
No, I mean, maybe I wasn't as focused on it, but no, yeah, I'm with you. I understand what you're saying, Doug, because you're saying like, damn, this dude must be thinking about another career while he should be making kicks. Yeah. But my thing is like, dang, my dog he can't focus on this career outside of football.
No, I'm just totally messing around, to be honest with you. I'm totally messing around. Like the more I look at it, all jokes aside, I really do think that the biggest issue is the protection in Blackburn. And I do think that Joshua Carty, he is a pretty talented kicker leg-wise. I mean, he was great in college. And anytime you use draft capital on a kicker, it's because they're talented. So, but I also think, too, the pressure of bringing in Mevis, it's going to make him sink or swim, right? I mean, pressure bust pipes or makes diamonds, right? Like, so I do think that kind of having him over his shoulder looking back, it's like either it's kind of like a now or never thing for the special teams unit, but we're deep into the season. I mean, week 10, and we're talking about a kicking issue for a team that's 6-2, and they could be. I mean, even look at the Niners game, right? Look at the games they lost. The Eagles game was the block. That's the obvious one. The Niners game, the missed kick led to them having to go for a touchdown, right? So it's impacted all of the losses. I mean, we really could be talking about 8-0 team. It's kind of wild when you think about it, and it's not really about what's happened. It's how it could impact the future. And if it's on a scale of 1 to 10, my concern level, it really is like an 8.5. Like it's that bad. It's been too much of an adventure this year.
Yeah. I mean, I got a question first for you both. I mean, I genuinely don't know. And maybe there's going to be a person or two in the comments who's going to call me a casual for this. I don't care, because I don't think you know the answer either. But whose decision is it on who goes out and kicks field goals for the Rams on Sunday? Is it McVay? Is it the special teams coordinator? Is it a little bit of both? Does the GM play a role in that? Like, who do you think makes the final decision on who is kicking the field goal for the Los Angeles Rams on a Sunday?
Oh, it's 100% McVay, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's McVay. I think obviously he's going to take, his advice from his staff, so hopefully Blackburn knows, who's doing the best and who can get the job done. Then he would go tell McVay, hey, I feel like, this or that guy would be better fit for the game this week. And then he would move from there. So definitely McVay at the end of the day.
Well, that's kind of the thing, though, is like, if he's taking recommendations from Blackburn, then how much is McVay watching the guy kick the field goal? Like, unless they're doing a game simulation, like, he's much more worried about how we're going to get Puka the ball. So if Blackburn comes in and says, hey, I mean, I think Carty's playing, kicking better than thicker kicker, then McVay's going to say, okay, right? Like, so I guess that's why I'm curious. It's like, is it really his decision? Because D-Mac, you heard Chavez say it on one of the shows, like, if it is on McVay, like, as much as we love him, like, he's got to get this right. Whether it's why are you keeping Blackburn, why are you listening to him, or why are you choosing Carty, or why are you choosing who's, blocking for the extra point? Like, it's becoming an institutional issue. I agree. It's not on Joshua Carty, and it's unfortunate he's going to be the guy who gets, potentially is on LinkedIn, for it. But like, it feels like an institutional thing that it needs to be looked at.
Yeah, I mean, I think that different coaches have different clout and different responsibilities for each organization. And Sean McVay, when it comes to responsibility and just overseeing everything, is tier 1. It's like right at the top. I mean, Andy Reid level. I mean, you name your top coach, he's sitting at that table as far as getting calls. And there are situations where I know that analytics are involved, right? And there's communication to Sean McVay about, okay, like, we think we should go for it on 4th and 2, 4th and 3. Like, they have situational analytics that play a part when it's time to go for it. And also, too, there's some delegation there to LaFleur on certain situations as well. So it's collaborative. But at the end of the day, like, he's the big boss, man. Like, he's
Right.
big boss, man. And they're like, let's put it like this. There's never a time where the kicking unit is running onto the field and Sean McVay's like, what's up? What are they doing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's calling the shots for Los Angeles Rams. And if they're kicking, it's because he greenlit that, and that was his decision. So, but I think that's a great point, though, in that Sean McVay is such a proud guy, and he has such great attention to detail. And I'm sure he's looking at like Chris Schuler, right, as a nice feather in his cap. Like, hey, man, that's my dog from back in the day. People thought, oh, maybe that's just like that's a little like he's your friend, so you're gonna hire your friend and this and that. But no, he's like one of the best defensive coordinators in the game, right? And Same thing with LaFleur, has done a good job. So I also think the same thing works for special teams, where, hey, man, like, that's part of your job as the NFL head coach is to surround yourself with great coaching hires, right? It plays a part in, at the end of the day, if Blackburn fails, that is Sean McVay failing. So he needs to, that's the thing too. I mean, like, that it would be pretty dramatic. I mean, Brock knows that this organization, they don't like dramatic, they don't like panic, but there, I think, are certain situations that could call for it. I think this is one of the rare ones where they might want to pull the plug on a coach, even if he's a good golfer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can't believe that. I really can't believe that.
Hey, take it with a grain of salt. That's what I heard. Don't shoot the messenger, right?
I trust DMAX sources. Okay, Woj. Okay, Shams. Yeah, I trust you.
Hashtag trust me, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Careful, don't get into slang. I know you and Travis are already struggling with the Gen Z slang. All right, so I don't want any, but we're gonna take our break. When we come back, let's not waste any more time. We got to talk about the 49ers. We'll talk about what needs to go right, what needs to change coming off of that embarrassing. I mean, one of the most embarrassing games, in my opinion, the Rams have had in years was that loss earlier this season to the Niners. Hopefully they can turn things around on Sunday. We'll get to that. We'll get to our predictions after our break here on the Locked On Rams Squad Show. Now, this midweek squad show also brought to you by Gametime. Look, the NFL season well underway, right? There's nothing better than being in the stadium surrounded by fans cheering on your team. But let's be honest, getting tickets can be a hassle between queues, login screens, and prices jumping at checkout. It's frustrating. That's why I use Gametime, the app that gives the advantage back to the fans. Gametime is fast, it's easy, and it's backed by the Gametime guarantee. You'll always get 100% authentic tickets delivered on time and at the best price. Plus, all fees are included, so the price you see is the price you pay. I tell the story a billion times. The best example of Gametime, and this is not cap, all right? This is put it on my mama. I'm in New York. I'm going to New York Liberty game. I buy my tickets on Gametime like 3 minutes before I get in line. Like, I'm on the subway, and I just see amazing deals right there. I'm talking about your favorite teams, whether it's the NFL, WNBA, NBA, whatever. Prices as low as $100 to get into SoFi on Gametime, right? The app makes it super simple. They got zone deals where you pick the section. Gametime picks the seats. You save big. It's faster, cheaper, and less stressful than any other way I've bought tickets. So download the Gametime app, create an account, use code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, that's promo code LOCKEDON NFL for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download Gametime today. Ram Squad Show, the Mob Squad, we're back, and it's time to talk about Rams, Niners on Sunday. I do have one more thing. I don't want to stay on this kicker thing, but I just want to hear. I'm curious. Like, I feel like it doesn't help if it's a confidence thing for Joshua Carty and you bring in another guy and have him battle it out. That's just me. I feel like if you're going to bring a guy in, put him in. Like, kicker's not the position to have two guys taking up a roster. If you want to part ways with Joshua Carty kicking your kicks on Sunday, then put the other guy in. I feel like if it's a mental thing already for Carty, how is having the guy staring at him, pressuring him, going to help when it's already between the ears? That's just me. I don't know what you guys think. And then we'll finally move on.
I think, and to be honest with you, and I think this is why Sean McVay is so good at what he does is he will put these kickers in real game situations. Like throughout practice, he will put them in real game situations where they're, kicking for a win, for a drill or kicking, an extra point, in a 2-minute or whatever. And he will see who performs well, and whoever performs well throughout practice is going to be the guy who shows up on Sunday. I think nothing is better than healthy competition, especially when you get to this level of playing football, where everybody's playing for their job. So if competition doesn't get you going, then nothing will ever get you going. So I see it as just, like I said, a healthy competition for him to either, get his stuff together, or he wants, be out the door. So either one of the two can happen. This is a business. We're going to go with the best guy that gets the job done at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, I think it's really just he's on high alert, right? I mean, because he's on the practice squad. So I think Ronnie Rivers signed, so he had to be elevated. It's kind of one of those things where, and I almost think they brought in someone else late today, but I mean, I think that they're going with a volume approach. And as far as confidence goes, I mean, this is the NFL, man. Like, if you can't handle that in the NFL, you don't belong in the NFL. Like, period, end of story, right? I mean, go play, go play over. Go for the Birmingham Barons.
Go get on LinkedIn is what D-Max said. Go get on LinkedIn if you can't already handle the pressure.
But this league ain't for you if that's going to bother you, man. I'm not a player like Brock, obviously, but it seems like everyone in this league is a tough dude, and they've all been like the greatest at their position from like middle school, high school, college, and NFL. They've all been great, varying degrees of great, just to be in the NFL, even if you're not an all-pro player.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Maybe he needs to roll up his shorts like the Oklahoma kicker. I don't know if you saw that. Talk about D-Mac and cheeks. I mean, didn't leave much to be desired there with Mr. Oklahoma Sooners kicker. That was crazy, in my opinion. But talk about crazy. Look at this segue. Crazy annoyed is how we felt about the Rams against the Niners the first time around. Part 2, right now, this week, on Sunday. Sean McVay, what's the record, D-Mac, you said, McVay against Shanahan in recent games or something?
They had won 3 straight against San Francisco, and since that last one, they had swept them. But, 10-13, it's under 500. Of course, the Rams have the one that matters the most, but Shanahan's always had McVay's number in the regular season, and they've dominated in the trenches. They dominated in the run game up the middle, and Shanahan, to his credit, you got to give him credit. I mean, Shane Steichen, I think Mike Vrabel, it's that handful of coaches that are in the mix for coach of the year just because of the injuries that they've suffered to Warner. I mean, they've just been decimated. Give them credit. I mean, this 49ers team has fought hard, and they've won a lot of division games. They've won a lot of conference games. And if you win this game against the Rams, you're 4-0 in the division with a chance to go 5-0 in Week 11 against the Cardinals. So the way the schedule's kind of lined up for the 49ers and the lack of division game that the Rams have played so far, this is such an important game for this team because they'll have played the 49ers twice already without having played the rest of this division. So it's just such a mammoth game. I'm not a must-win guy, but it's hey, you probably should win this game. You know what I mean? Like, you probably should win this game, guy. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, I mean, that's just kind of what it is. And I think, too, you bake in what you talk about, Gavin, in just this first meeting, that 26-23 loss where it was the Quinnen Williams fumble and you lose to Mac Jones, and Mac Jones is just carving it up in those first drives. This I think we're going to learn a lot about how much fuel this Rams team has and how much hatred they've had towards the 49ers. Brock, one of the reasons why Aaron Donald is my favorite player of all time is because he uttered the words, I hate the 49ers. He didn't say like, yo, I'm not cool with those guys, or it's another game on the schedule. My man came out and treated it like a college rivalry and said, I hate the 49ers. And that's what I love about AD, and I hope that this current Rams team kind of has that instilled in them as well, is respecting the rivalry and also respecting, as you pointed out, Gavin, it was an embarrassing loss. And I'll say this defense has not given up more than 20 points since that loss, and I think it's the defense that's gonna set the tone for this team. And I'm ready for this game. This feels like a playoff game to me. I'm like, baseball's over. You know what I mean? Like,
tell,
let's
man.
go. November.
I was about to ask Brock. I was about to ask what the vibe would be in the locker room. I think D-Mac just gave us a little sneak peek. I think D-Mac's ready to
that's
run
the vibe
through
from the
wall.
couch, bro. I give you the vibe from the couch.
Yeah.
Brock gives you the vibe from the locker room.
Well, that was going to be my question for Brock. Is it feels like the casual would say, "You got killed by the Niners. They're your rival." Like, enough said, right? But then I don't know. Sometimes I ask you questions, and you're like, "Hey, it is another game on the schedule." Maybe. Yeah. What do you think, as someone who's been in the locker room for many Rams-Niners games? How much do you think Sean McVay references that first loss? Or how much do you think he simply says, we are a really good football team. We don't care who we're playing against. We expect to win every game. Like, is it somewhere in the middle? Is it have some pride, we got embarrassed? Is it have some pride, it's the Niners? Or is it, hey, it's another game. It's about execution. It's about, all the boring stuff. What do you think the vibe is in the locker room ahead of this game?
I think they're definitely excited to play in this game. I think he's getting them riled up. He's getting the troops rallied up because he really wants to win this game. I think I recall him saying something after that last game, like that's the worst he's ever felt. That's the worst loss he's ever taken. And I just know that's a bad taste in his mouth, especially when you consistently lose to your division rival and you're not sure like why. Because you're playing a great game, but this guy always ends up on top. So for me, it's all about, man, just being ready to play this game. What we say in the league is division games count as two. I mean, even though they don't, but it's just like, it counts as two because it's your divisional opponent. So obviously they already beat you one time at home. You gotta repay them for that loss that you got. So for me, man, we would definitely be ramping it up this week. I'll definitely be lifting a lot earlier, getting extra biceps throughout the week, man, because this is a game that I'm psyched to play because this is somebody that, knows me, knows my team, knows, my weaknesses and my strengths. So if I can come out on top of this game, I feel like I can beat anybody. Yeah,
and I think what made the Saints game so great for the Rams is from start to finish, it was dominant, right? They came out right away. I think it was the first 4 plays in a row, just pass. Just like that, the Rams are driving. Just like that, the Rams are up 7-0. 3 and out for the Saints offense. It was dominant from start to finish. That Rams game against the Niners was so infuriating because the Rams were in a hole right away against a team they shouldn't have been in a hole against. And what's made the Rams so impressive the last 2 games they played is start to finish, not wasting any time, getting ahead against teams they're better than. Now, are they as better than the Niners as they are, as superior compared to the Niners as they are the Jags and the Saints? No, I don't think anyone would make that argument. But are the Rams still, 4.5-point favorites? Are they still healthier than the Niners? Are they still expected to go out there and punch the Niners in the mouth first? In my opinion, yes. And I think you're going to be able to tell right away, pretty early on, if the Rams are pressing and they're nervous because they're playing the Niners, who they sometimes struggle with, or if they are playing fired up and D-Mac and Brock were in the locker room before the game firing them up. I think you're going to be able to tell that right away, right? I feel like you're going to know in the first quarter. And then it might come down to a Josh McCarty kick in the fourth, but I feel like you're going to know in the first quarter whether or not the Rams are going to get the job done. When we come back from the break, I'm going to ask these two, are the Rams going to get the job done? We'll talk about what might be the difference in this game and what would a win against the Niners mean with this tough schedule coming ahead for our Rams. We'll talk about that after our last break here on the Locked On Rams Squad Show. Finally, today's show brought to you by PrizePicks. Look, you've heard me say it a billion times, and rightfully so. I make decisions every day. You make decisions every day. But on PrizePicks, being right can get you paid. Money, cash, all right? Don't miss any of the excitement of the sports season that already comes with watching sports. But now you get excitement plus the chance to maybe put some extra money in your pocket. Whether you're following the NFL, the NBA, or both, there's no better time to jump in on the action. If you haven't tried it yet, PrizePicks is also the simplest way to play. You just pick more or less on at least 2 player stats. And if you get them right, you win. It takes less than 60 seconds to make your lineup, and you can play anywhere, all right? Including California for D-Mac and I, and Texas for Brock, Georgia, and others, all right? So when I go on PrizePicks lately, I like the stacks feature, right? It's a new feature. It's a game changer. You can now pick more on multiple stats for the same guy. So you're feeling good about Matthew Stafford on Sunday against the Niners? Good. Guess what? You could take more on passing yards and on passing touchdowns, right? And on completions. It's not just one thing anymore. Plus, if one of your players leaves early with an injury, the injury reboot saves your lineup from a loss. So download the PrizePicks app today. Use code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONNFL for $50 in lineups after your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. Rams Squad show is back. The Mob Squad is back. Rams legend, Big Brock, LA sports media legend, D-Mac, and me. All right, who some people in the comments go, why the heck is this guy on the show? All right, hey, fair enough. I don't got maybe the accolades these two have, but we're in here talking Rams twice a week, and you can make the argument this is the biggest week of Rams the season, right? I know people cared about that Eagles game a lot, rightfully so, and certainly with the way it went, you're pissed off about that one. I think that Lions game down the road is going to be really important, Sunday Night Football against the Bucs, but it's the Niners. The division's at stake. The Seahawks are playing well. Even the Cardinals, who D-Mac already sold all his stock, he already went to Fidelity and cashed it all in. Even they won a football game you didn't expect them to. So the division is at stake. Brock just told you that they count twice as much. And my question for you guys is, are the Rams going to get it done? What's going to be the difference? And if they get it done or don't get it done, what will it mean for the Rams going forward? D-Mac, I guess we'll start with you, bro.
Yeah, I would say in this game, it is going to be on the offense. I think that the offense is going to have to win this game for the Rams. I mean, they're the only second team this year, them and the Bengals, that have scored more than 34 points in consecutive weeks. And they got 35 against the Jags, 34 against the Saints. And you're looking at a potent offense that can beat you in a lot of different ways. This is a D-line that's getting huffed back if you're the 49ers. They have done a nice job in the absence of Fred Warner, but they are not as good in the trenches as they've been. And I think on the flip side, this is a great defense by the Rams. We know that. We also know they're going up against Shanahan, and they've made life so easy for Mac Jones. Like, the easy button, you press the easy button. Like, that's how it's been the easy button offense for Mac Jones. They're going to do what they do with short intermediate routes, go to underneath guys. But the difference between Mac Jones and Brock Purdy is Mac Jones, he's been able to have success in play action. Brock Purdy, it's really pure dropbacks, things like that. Mac Jones can do a lot of really interesting things that Brock Purdy just doesn't do. So to think that you're just going up a backup quarterback or anything like that, it doesn't even feel like that at this point. I think you're going up with a guy that really, really has a skill set that really suits a Shanahan offense. Because if you watch 49ers games, McCaffrey gets so open. I mean, they get him in wide open spaces all game long. So the tackling, the third downs, I mean, it's the defense really has to, I think, go toe-to-toe, but I'm hoping that the offense can just make life easier for that defense, and I'm hoping for a big win for the Rams. I'm not dropping my score yet, but this Rams team is just playing with so much confidence on both sides of the football. The revenge factor, as you point out, Gavin, how important this game is in the grand scheme of things. Like, this is just such an important win that I think you're absolutely right. Like, this is one of the biggest and most important weeks of the season.
Yeah, Big Brock, I feel like I know where you're going to go with this one because D-Mac says it's about the offense. Do you agree, or do you think it's about the defense?
I think it's about the defense. I think you already knew what I was going to say, man. I'm always focused on the defense. Defense wins championships. And last time we played the team, we just gave them too much. They obviously Mac Jones just was taking what the defense was giving them. I mean, if it was a short drag route or some, a short check down route, that's what he was going to. If we can find a way to make him beat us deep as far as like really making him throw the ball, not giving him easy checkdowns, making sure we're stepping up to those receivers and, crossing routes and things of that nature, we would really see what Mac Jones can do and really make him an elite quarterback if he can do it. So I think, just taking away a lot of the short game and seeing what, obviously doing what we've been doing all year, stopping the run, earning the right to rush the passer. And then when we get that opportunity to rush the passer, let's get him down. I mean, I think it's easier said than done in this situation, but if we can manage to take care of those things, I think we come out of this game with a dub for sure.
Hey, that's what I like to hear. I mean, I think any other situation, when you talk about this game coming into it, I would say it's more about the offense. I would say, hey, you're playing against Kyle Shanahan. Like, sometimes you just got to tip your hat, your cap or whatever to a great offensive mind. And if his offense cooks, hey, it is what it is, right? But no, not with how last time went around, where, like you're saying, we got beat by the same thing for the entire first half. We're all sitting there going, oh my goodness, why are you giving so much space? Oh my goodness, why can Christian McCaffrey run 8 yards, turn around and catch the ball every possession, right? Every play. So I think other Rams Niners games, I'd say, hey, if the offense cooks, you tip your cap. They got CMC with Mac Jones, is a decent amount of Brock Purdy. And hey, hopefully the Rams offense can go blow for blow with them. But no, man, I want to see Chris Shula. I know we respect him. We have a lot of respect. It's the same word, but we regard him highly. I need to see you make up for what happened in that last game. Now, with that being said, let's get into the predictions. We'll start with Brock because, hey, he said he feels good about this week. I want to start with some good vibes. Are you picking a Rams win? I do have to say the line, different places, -4, -4.5. The Rams are a favorite by more than a field goal. That's all you need to know. Brock, where are you going with this one?
Man, and first of all, before I get started, man, in our standings and where we are, I got my blinders on, man. I can't focus on what's to the left or right of me, man. I just got my blinders on, just focus on myself because, hey, Gavin, you are taking it away with this thing. But if I had to choose, obviously I'm choosing my Rams, to win this game. But it's not going to be an easy game. I'm thinking 24-17, something around that area. Very close game. I just think the Rams come out on top. They lock it in. I think Shula and that defense gets it together and they show out this game.
Okay. All right. That's what I like to hear. Again, I'll take it from the guy who's actually been on the field. He likes our Rams. I'll take it. D-Mac, what say you?
I like that score. I was thinking some in 24 range, but I just think this offense, I think they're clicking. And I think they're looking forward to an opportunity to go against this 49ers defensive line too. I think you kind of mentioned one of the big key matchups where I think the Rams can exploit. And the reason why I just think that, hey, if Kyle Shanahan is able to get 17 to 20 points for Mac Jones, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad day for the Rams defense, right? Just because Shanahan, the way he's going to scheme, he's going to find guys. I mean, like, even a great defense is going to have an issue with that type of scheming. But where the Rams can really exploit is the 49ers defensive line, because for the first time in a long time, the offensive line for the 49ers is better than their defensive line. But you've got, Quinnen Williams is out. I mean, they made that trade for Keon White. Bryce Huff is coming back. But I just look at getting Matthew Stafford protection and the heater that he's on. I like the Rams offense scoring points. I'm not going to 30 range, but I'll give me a Rams dub. Give me 26-20. I kind of want to say 26-17, but give me Rams 26-20.
Interesting. Hey, again, I like to hear that, right? We want this team to win. There are two people picking a win. I've been back and forth on this one. I'm not going to lie. I've been back and forth on this one.
Come on.
But my heart just says there's no way the Rams lose 2 games in a row to this team. There's no way they do it. I can't. There's no way. Not a Mac Jones led team.
Join the bias gang, baby. Join the bias gang.
Keep it 100. I'm keeping it 100. The Rams are winning this football game, okay? Ricky Pearsall's not playing, it sounds like. Mac Jones, he was throwing up on the SoFi Stadium turf last game. I don't think we're going to hit him that much, but we're going to get to him. I don't care if CMC runs for 200 yards. There's no way that the Niners offense is going to do what it did to this Rams defense twice in a row. And this is the best the Rams offense has been playing all year. So as much as I want to say it's going to be a dominant win for the Rams, I'm not ready to say that just because you got to prove it to me. All right. So I'm going to say 24-21, Rams win by a field goal. How great would it be if they won on a game-winning field goal? That would just be
the thicker kicker.
Chef's thicker kicker.
Yeah.
That would be chef's kiss. All right. But I'm going to say 24-21 Rams. It's a close game because you're at, a raucous environment, but you get the job done. You pick up a huge win. And this is one of those games. How about you guys? Again, as much as I'd love to see the Rams win by 50, because I hate those darn 49ers fans, just like Aaron Donald and everyone else. This is one of those games. I don't care how you win. I don't care if you win 3-2. Just win the ball game. All right. Just win the ball game however you can. You had your statement wins last week. You had it against the Jags. Just win this game. All right. Just keep rising up the standings. That's all we want. All right. Any final words from the two main members of the Mob Squad before we go into a must-win game. As it's not a must-win game, but it feels like it.
Right. No, I'm all good, man. Ready to see what these Rams do come Sunday.
Yes, sir.
Me too. Yeah, you said it best. I mean, any win in any way, any score, a win's a win against the 49ers. It's a 50-point win as good as a 1-point win. They got to find a way to win this game, and you're gonna feel really, really good about this team and where this season's going. But this will really sting if you lose it, because look back at the first matchup and you'd be even more mad again. It'll reopen that wound. But I think we're gonna learn a lot about this Rams team and just how serious they are about. Well, we know they're going to make the playoffs, really, but is it, hey, we want to win this division. Like, we want to creep up there, and because we got the Bucks too, we got the Lions later. Like, we want a bye, we want home field advantage, we want everything that comes with it. And I think that's going to be the difference between this team. Are they a great team? Are they an elite team? Right? And I don't think anyone can honestly say right now, but with these tests coming up, we are going to get that answer.
Oh yeah, you win this game and you win one of those other two, at least one of those two against the Seahawks and Bucks. We're going to be pushing some narratives on this show, all right? We try to keep it 100, but it's hard not to push narratives when you're getting the job done. But We'll see you on Sunday. Go Rams, go Rams, go Rams. Like, comment, all that good stuff. Subscribe if you somehow haven't already, and we will see you on Sunday. Put that away. This is the Rams show. Go Rams. I don't care about that team. Go Rams. Take care.